Now let's look at these different statements that you can write in a function. Okay, so it can be a compound statement, like in case of if else. Okay, it can be a loop, means you want to repeat a set of statements multiple times. In that case, you will use a loop. Or it can be simple single statement, and in that single statement, what you are supposed to do, maybe you want to assign a value to a variable. Means, let's say you declare a variable int count. Let's say this is one of the variable that you declare. So this in itself is one statement. It is terminated by a semicolon. Now you want to assign some value to this count. Then what you will do, let's say you want to assign the value 10 to it. Then count is equal to 10. This count is a name that is given to some memory location. So at that memory location, it will store 10. Okay. But you are not only assigning a constant, means directly a immediate value to a variable. Many times what you have to do is you have to assign a value to a variable with an expression. That expression evaluates to a value. What I mean to say, let's say that there are many variables int a, b, c. Okay, and a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. So in these statements, this is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Then at statement 2, you are assigning 10 to a. So let's say this is a memory location, and the name given to this memory location is a. Then now at this memory location, what will be stored? It will be stored 10. Similarly, memory location which is recognized by the name b, what will be stored at this memory location? 20 will be stored. Now, what you want to store in C actually is the sum of A and B. Then you will just write A plus B. So at memory location C, what will be stored? It will be stored as 30. Now this A plus B is an expression. So in an expression, you can think of this variable A and this variable B, that they are operands, and this plus is an operator. Okay, like expressions are formed from operators and operands. Any expression including an assignment or a function call can be a statement. Like for example, look at this sum 2, 3. This is a statement. This is one statement, and it is a function called to sum, and this sum is returning after adding this 2 and 3. Let's say that you have a variable, you declare a variable integer type int c, and in this value of c you want to store the sum of 2 and 3. You are going to call this sum, but whatever the sum will return, you will assign it to c. Means you will do c is equal to sum 2, 3. So function is supposed to return something. In this case, the function will return the sum of the two arguments. Okay, so you send the two arguments to be 2 and 3. And now, if you just call the function, if you don't do this c is equal to, like previously what we had done, we just called the function. The function will actually return, but you are not catching what it is returned into any variable. But when your program demands to cache somewhere or to store the returned value from a function, then what you will do? You will just declare a variable, assign the value of what the function returns to that variable. Okay. So when it comes to the expressions, like in this case, I have told you that count is equal to, you can very well have count is equal to expression. Or in simple terms, any variable, once it is declared, so any variable declared, if you want to assign a value to it, then that variable it is going to be value 1 is equal to expression, and that expression evaluates to a value, and that value is going to be assigned to the variable. Okay. In an expression, there can be many operators, there can be many operands, and what will be evaluated first means, if you consider this, like if your expression is something like this, a plus b into c minus d plus e. Are you going to perform b into c first, or are you going to perform a plus b, and then the result of this a plus b is going to be multiplied with c? So in computers, they follow, just to evaluate any expression, there are rules to evaluate an expression, and that rules include the associativity rules and precedence rules. Associativity rules and precedence rules. Like this parenthesis, anything under the bracket is given the higher precedence, so a plus b will be evaluated first. Then d plus e will be evaluated. Okay, so let's say the result of a plus b is z, then this expression evaluates to z into c, minus, let's say that the result of d plus e is m. So this becomes z into c minus m. Now the precedence comes into play. Now the precedence of multiplication is higher than the precedence of subtraction. So what will be evaluated? Z into c will be evaluated. Let's say this results into y. Then the expression becomes y minus m. It evaluates to e. Then this is the value that this expression evaluates to. Okay, e. Now if you assign a variable, let's say int x, and x is equal to this expression, then ultimately what will be stored at a memory location is recognized by x? E will be stored. Okay, so in this video we will look into the operator precedence and the associativity also. Okay, so you know what a precedence is. The one with a higher precedence will be evaluated first. But what if in your expression everything is in the same precedence, means every operator has the same precedence, then associativity comes into play. For example, let's take one example where all the operators in the expression are of the same precedence. These are the arithmetic operators that have the same precedence. So in the expression that only has the operators with the same precedence, this is a general statement, not for the arithmetic operators only. In those scenarios, the decision will be made about what to evaluate first will be based on the associativity. Okay, so precedence will be looked at. If there are two operators of different precedence, the one with the higher precedence will be evaluated first. But if in case the precedence are same, then associativity will decide. Associativity can be left to right, or it can be right to left. In case of arithmetic operators, these are arithmetic operators. So this set has higher precedence than this set, but in the same set they have the same precedence. So what is the associativity in the same set? It is left to right. Here also left to right. So if you have any expression that says like 2 plus 3 minus 4, then you cannot do 3 minus 4 first and then you add the result with 2. That will be wrong, because the associativity tells you that you have to go from left to right. So going from left to right means 2 plus 3 will be evaluated first. The result of it is 5, and then 5 minus 4 will be evaluated. So we are going from left to right following the associativity. The result is going to be 1. Okay. So in the C programming, let's say you have statements like int A, B, C and D, and you have A is equal to 2, then you have B is equal to 3, you have C is equal to 4, and D is equal to A plus B minus C. Then what are the values at these variables? At A you will have 2, at B you will have 3, at C you will have 4, and at D you will have what? 1, because this expression will evaluate into the value of 1, and that is what is going to be stored in the variable D. Okay. There are many different operators. So let's look at these different operators now. What is the relational operators? Relational operators are when you have to compare, okay, less than equal to, greater than equal to. These things are relational operators. These are the relational operators. Okay. So the precedence of this set is higher than precedence of this set. These are equality operators. So equality operators are just below these relational operators in the precedence, okay, just below. And within this, their own set, they are at equal precedence. And the associativity of relational operators and equality operators is also left to right associativity. Left to right associativity. Associativity is left to right. This is the relational operators, this is the equality operators. When it comes to logical operators, what are logical operators? So I have a playlist of mathematical logic. So far I have uploaded only 2 videos, but for the purpose of programming language, the second video is enough for you to know about different logical operators. So the precedence of AND is more than or. Okay, and the associativity is left to right. So logical operators, associativity is left to right. Left to right associativity. And precedence of relational operators is more than the precedence of logical operators. Okay, there is one more thing to note about the logical operators. That is, in case of logical expressions, the expressions are evaluated left to right. Means the associativity is left to right. The evaluation stops as soon as the truth or falsehood of the result is known. The truth or falsehood of the result is known. Like I have told you that you just go to the page mathematical logic and watch the first 2 videos, and you will get to know about the logical operators in detail there. Different data types. One of them is Boolean data, Boolean variable, and Boolean variable will take 2 values, which is true and false. So in case of logical expressions, like this is expression 1, and then some operator, which is a logical operator, and then expression 2, then another operator 2, which is again one of the logical operator, So what happens is that in a logical expression, the value of it is either true or false. The value of it is either true or false. Okay. And what does AND requires? Means if you connect two logical expression, this is expression 1, this is expression 2. If you connect two logical expressions with a operator AND, then what AND requires? What is the result of this? It will be either true or false, right? It will be true or false, but AND requires that every expression evaluates to true to give a true value. Means expression 1 must be true also, and expression 2 must be true for the entire expression connected by AND operative to be true. If any of the operator becomes false, then the result of this entire expression will be false. This is the requirement of AND for expression to evaluate to be true. Similarly, in case of OR, what OR requires is that any of the expression, if one of the expression out of many, let's say expression 1, expression 2, and so on, many different expressions are connected with OR only, then the requirement of OR operator to evaluate this entire expression to be true, to give the value of this entire expression to be true, is that any one of them becomes true. Okay? Now, look at this statement. Evaluation stops as soon as the truth or falsehood of the result is known. Truth or falsehood of the result is known. It means what? It means, let's say you have statements like expression 1 and expression 2 and expression 3. Okay? Then you know that this expression will set to be true, will give true value only if expression 1 is true, expression 2 is true, and expression 3 is true. But what if your expression 1 itself it is false? If your expression 1 is false, then you don't need to check for the truth value of expression 2 or truth value of expression 3, because any one is false, then the whole expression becomes false. So this is the thing about the logical expressions, that evaluation stops as soon as the truth or falsehood is known. So the moment expression 1 becomes false, the truth value of the whole expression is known, that it is going to be false. So the evaluation will stop. The moment expression 1 becomes false, this whole expression will evaluate to false directly. It does not need to evaluate the rest of the expression. Similarly, let's say it was expression 1 or expression 2 or expression 3. Then if expression 1 is true, you don't need to look at expression 2, expression 3, and then what would be the result because of these operators. The moment one of the expression becomes true, the truth value of the entire expression will be true. So the evaluation stops the moment the expression 1 becomes true, and the result of the entire expression is true. That is what is written. So this is about the logical operators. Okay. And we make use of this fact in our programs. We will see that in the if statement. In the if statement, whatever the expression that you will write here, if this comes out to be true, only then you go to the if block and execute these statements. But if this turns out to be false, then you will skip over the if block and you will go to the whatever comes after the if block. So while writing the expression in this if block, you make sure if the truth or falsehood can be decided without going to the end of it, to the end of the expression, then you write your expression or code in such a manner. So this is about logical operators. What about the relational operators? Okay, so logical operators will return true or false only. Similarly, relational operators will also return true and false only. If you look at relational operators, it is about greater than, less than, equal to, less than, greater than, equal to. What are these going to give you? For example, if you write 5 less than 9, either this is true statement or it is false statement. So logic, be it logical operators, be it relational operators, or be it equality operators, all of them, because means all of them will return a true or false value. Okay. Similarly, okay, rest of the operators we will look into in the next video. Thank you very much.